Hello, this is Brendan Morton, and this is my presentation on AI as a friend or assistant, the mediating role of perceived usefulness in social AI versus functional AI. First, I just want to start off and say this is actually my third attempt. I have tried two different times. One time my headset mic did not work, and then the second time it just decided to end the recording on its own. I'm having some technical difficulties over here for some weird reason. It's kind of annoying. I just want to get this over with. So, and I also apologize for the background noise. I don't know how to fix that. So bear with me. Okay. The purpose of the study. The purpose of the study was basically to collect the data between the human interactions between AI and human. There were two main steps that the authors attempted to do this, and the researchers. They did some observational studying, and the way they observed and collected the data was basically they saw, they had a few examples to note is they would put and observe people, either if it was with just a voice of an AI or if it was just robotic AI, either in person or through with video. And they basically drew these results and collected the data based on these observations that they noticed when conducting the study. The major findings. Plain and simple, there were really no major findings. However, there were still findings, of course, or otherwise this would be just a flop of research and study. Now, there one minor finding you can kind of note here is that they noticed that when you're talking to a female voice AI was actually less threatening, and it was not as intimidating to a person when interacting with a female voice AI. That was one, I guess, minor finding. It was not really a major finding because this also was already kind of known. You can also probably, if you have an iPhone, you have Siri. That's a female voice. So this obviously was already kind of known or done and tested. And this article was posted, I guess, released in 2017. I'm not sure how long the Siri's been around. I'll presume since like 2009-ish or so. So, I mean, there was a couple other minor findings, but they overall did not come to a conclusive, finding. I guess you can say that was kind of groundbreaking. The author's methods and their testing hypotheses. The author's methods were basically just poorly constructed. They were also inconclusive, and the study was also left ongoing. The fact that the study was left ongoing kind of shows how poorly constructed, obviously, this whole research was. They based it on prior hypotheses. They didn't actually have a goal set in mind. They wanted just to figure out and just kind of just look and research anything that they could find that's something new that maybe they did not realize from before. Who knows? But there was no really conclusive data that they actually did by testing the methods that they used, and it was just really poorly constructed overall. Since it was very poorly constructed, there was not much reliability and accuracy during the study. That doesn't mean that there was 0% accuracy and 0% reliability. Since there was really no specific goal or objective in mind, they were kind of just having, right, this is what we're going to do here, and then hopefully we'd get this. Sometimes it would go their way, sometimes it wouldn't. One way it did go was that they found that the voice AI was, less threatening to a human when it was a female voice AI. However, when you're going into research like this, you need to have prior things ready. And they had prior hypotheses, but they never actually had prior data. Hypothesis is an educated guess. So this obviously led the study to become unreliable, which in return lowered the accuracy on the data that they had collected. An example of this would be that the AI they put with the subjects, they used a video playback in order to see how the people or the subjects would react to the AI, only to then realize that if the researchers had done this in person with the subjects, having the AI interact with the people in person, that they would have probably had more accurate and proficient results instead. Kling's perspective and the argument to this study. I do not personally see a correlation to Kling's argument to this particular study. However, there are some similarities. Of course, they both have to do with AI. They have to do with social interaction, and they have to do with the questions on if AI is good socially with humans, and if it's either voiced AI, strong or weak, or also robotic. And there's really no specific way to connect. In my own opinion, the way I saw it was there was no specific way to connect Kling's AI to this particular study and research done by the three authors. Now, I do see that Kling did mention how AI was also, could pose as a threat, and that was also kind of hinted at in this article done by the three authors. But again, it's apples to oranges. You're not really connecting definitive arguments to Kling and to the study. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my presentation. This is Brendan Moore, and thank you for listening.